We want this new office to be easily accessible, so visitors entering through the main entrance will find it directly to their right. Now, I think that's all I have to tell you. Please feel free to ask any questions if you would like to know anything else.
Section 3.
Oh, hi Jen and Irene. Are you two heading to class?
Hey, Bill. Yes, we're just walking there now. We're a little bit early, but we wanted to prepare our apparatus for the experiment. Do you want to walk with us?
Yes, sure. It'll be good to catch up. How is everything going with your experiment? Have you decided what your test subject is yet?
It's going really well, and we're conducting the test as laboratory partners. We've decided to test the effects of gravitational force on a series of objects with different densities.
It's interesting, but it's a lot of work. I've been planning the experiment for the last 2 weeks, and I only finished yesterday.
Gosh, Irene, I'm really impressed by how hard-working you are.
I enjoy chemistry so much that it doesn't feel like work. Whenever I have some free time at the weekend, I spend it in the laboratory working on it. It almost feels like a second home to me.
How about you, Bill? Who is your laboratory partner?
The tutor partnered me with Kim. At first I was worried because I've never worked with him before, and I was worried that he wouldn't be very good at laboratory work. But actually, he's very capable.
I've noticed that he's always very well dressed.
Yes, he's very stylish, and we share the same tastes in clothes. That doesn't stop him from getting his hands dirty, though. He's a very hard worker and makes a significant contribution, which I'm really grateful for.
It's good that you get on well with your partner. It makes the experiment so much more enjoyable when you work well together.
What do you think of the other people in our group?
A lot of the boys are really good at maths, which is really helpful with all the calculations we have to do.
Irene is good at maths as well, which makes her contribution really useful because she can do all the equations. I take care of all the writing because Irene finds that difficult. We'd probably fail without each other's help.
That's true. I'm so glad that we're nearly finished.
Only because you finished the data analysis.
Oh, Jen, you give me too much credit.
I'm so glad that I didn't get partnered with Linda again. Jen and I were grouped with her for our last experiment, and it was a nightmare.
Yes, she always submitted her work on time for the group work, but she never had her phone on her, so it was impossible for anyone to keep in touch with her and vice versa.
Her attitude was pretty annoying, but in all fairness, she was a very hard worker because she realized the amount of work needed to get a high score.
Jen is such a hard worker. In fact, she has been invited to work on the professor's personal project.
Wow, that's amazing. Well done. Why were you picked?
I thought he would pick one of the students that he's closer to, but he told me he was impressed with me because I always complete reading the assignments in time for class.
I bet you'll be really popular among the other students when they find out. They'll all want to hear about the project. You should give everyone tasks so that they have the opportunity to participate.
That's a really good idea, actually. Will you help me decide who to assign each task to?
Of course. Now let's see. Well, as Irene finds writing difficult, perhaps it would be useful for her to practice that by doing the bibliography.
I think the bibliography is a bit long for me. I think I'd be better suited to the methodology.
Yes, that makes sense. Bill, you've told us that Kim is a hard worker, so I think he should be tasked with the conclusions, as there is quite a lot of effort involved.
Okay, sure. I know that Kyle hasn't been feeling well, so he should take care of the abstract and the acknowledgement, because there is very little work to be done for those tasks.
Jen, do you want to review some of the literature? It's a lot of work, but I know that you really enjoy writing, so I'm confident that you'll do a good job.
Sure, sounds great.
Right, so that leaves the bibliography and the discussion to assign. I think that Linda will struggle with the amount of work involved in the referencing, so perhaps I should take care of that task, and she can do the other one?
That's great, guys. Thanks for your help. I'll tell the tutor when he arrives.
Section 4.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the second lecture in our series on modern technology. Today I'll be discussing the recent developments in nanotechnology in addition to its applications in a number of environments, such as domestic and medical. First of all, I'd like to begin with a short explanation of what nanotechnology is. It is the manipulation of matter on an atomic, molecular, and supramolecular scale. Because of its limitless applications and uses, the government has invested billions of dollars into the research and development of nanotechnology in order to explore its potential. It is only recently that we have been able to engage in the development of nanotechnology, since the particles are so minuscule that a new type of microscope had to be invented to enable us to see them. Many of you may not realize that we all use nanotechnology in our homes as a part of our daily lives. For example, a new dietary supplement uses nanotechnology in order to help our body to absorb iron from our diet more efficiently, which can help to prevent anemia. This technology also makes it easier and cheaper for factories to produce foods such as chocolates, as the nanomolecules help the food to meet our recommended daily intake of certain vitamins and minerals. This may sound odd, but in fact it just means that the food is healthier and cheaper and has increased flavour. Another application for nanotechnology is in the agriculture industry. In the past, farmers have been using many artificial chemicals to fertilise the soil, which is extremely bad for the planet, as it contaminates the water that we drink. By using nanotechnology, scientists have been able to develop a spray which increases the efficiency of fertilizers that occur naturally in the soil. This means that a lot more food can now be produced per square hectare, making it cheaper and more efficient to grow without harming the planet. One of the industries upon which nanotechnology has had the biggest impact is the production of pharmaceuticals. One of the most commonly occurring illnesses is food poisoning, as many foods have naturally occurring contaminants that can be harmful if eaten without being thoroughly cooked. Nanotechnology makes it possible for us to sterilize the food and make it safe to eat by killing these bacteria. A major success in the use of nanotechnology in the medical field is in the treatment of cancer. Researchers have found that they can attach medicine to nanoparticles, which are then injected into the body and enable the therapeutic drugs to be absorbed into the veins. These drugs then travel throughout the blood system and target cancerous tumours. Scientists have also discovered that certain metals contain nanoparticles that have antibacterial qualities with the ability to destroy over 650 types of bacteria. These metals are used, for example, on fridges to prevent the growth of bacteria. They can even be woven into materials to create clothing that is self-cleaning and has an attractive metallic appearance. The most popular of these materials contains silver, which naturally has the strongest antibacterial qualities. These clothes have a special tag on them to show that they use nanotechnology, so keep a lookout for them next time you go shopping. Another observation made by some researchers showed that certain types of nanoparticles called splifferines can destroy fat tissues and therefore stimulate fat loss without the need for dieting or exercise. They are currently developing a supplement that can be ingested in order to help dieters with their weight loss programs. It is predicted that these supplements will be on the market by 2020. I would like to finish today's lecture with a final example of a domestic application for nanotechnology: cosmetics. Nanoparticles are used in many makeups and body lotions, but they have the greatest effect in sun cream. Ultraviolet rays given off by the sun are a serious cause of skin cancer, but the nanoparticles in sun cream protect the skin against the sun by blocking the ultraviolet radiation from entering the body. This is why you must always wear suntan lotion on the beach. Now, I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.